2025 ArborFest. Here we are. Well, I sure hope they got some food here.
I like how you keep it real.
I appreciate it.
And just doing people right. And I'm just trying to take the negative connotation out of, you know, like showing up in a highlighter hat and a NASCAR t-shirt and a cigarette out of my mouth. Like, I can get that down for you. You know what I mean? Like, I probably rig things I don't need to rig.
But, just be safe.
Yeah, but it's just nonstop.
Yeah, for sure.
They fucking pulled that damn excavator out from under you.
My 317. Yeah.
What fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah.
But one thing I watched years, I was gonna tell you thanks, was like, not every customer is my customer.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I was under the impression I needed to price it to where I just get the job.
Get every job. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, this tree, what, $200? But I'll be like, I'll do 50.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've invested so much, and like you said, and then being able to read, just like, if you could tell she's a lady who's gonna call you in 8 years and be like, this stump's still here, but you didn't want it removed. Like,
That's
you
right.
don't want that.
Yeah, some of the best money you can make is walking away from money, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm learning that, but I've definitely had to learn it the hard way. So.
Yeah, and I still do sometimes, man. I've been in business 11 years, and I mean, the whole thing about what you just seen about the machine being taken, I knew I shouldn't have worked for that customer, you know, but I did anyway, you know, and here we are, you know. And there's, you know, you feel bad for people, you want to help people out, you know. So, but you just gotta, as a businessman, if that's what comes first, you gotta listen to what your gut says and don't do the job if you don't.
No, I agree.
You know? And you got, whatever your price is, what your price has got to be, you know.
Yeah. What was that one video? You were like, this fucking tree's got to come down, and they were all just standing around, and you just fucking went up and so I do a lot of it by myself. But I'll have a buddy or two if it's giant, and they're sitting there. I'm like, well, it fucking ain't gonna come down.
Yeah.
Get your ass up there.
That's how it was during all this storm stuff, man. We brought a bunch of contract guys in, and you know, they'd hem-haw around and look at it. And,
tell you they've been climbing for 12 years. They're like, I can't go up there.
Yeah, what are you doing here, bro? We've been doing this for 6 weeks in here. You know, this crazy shit, and you can't get cranes in. You know, that's what everyone wants to do, is run a crane over. And dude, everyone can fucking pick a tree off a house with a crane. You know, you're a contract climber. You're supposed to be the big dog.
Get up there and cover.
Yeah, man. And you know, don't be stupid. Be safe. But there's ways to do almost everything safely. You know, I mean,
well, there's and the body can do it. I mean, not like, you know, lifting it, but I mean, you can get up there and bring it down.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Hey, nice to meet you, man.
See you, brother.
We've been in business for a little while. We always talk so much shit. I'm like, that guy is the type of asshole I was trying to be like right there.
So the regular mat was like 85, 95, whatever, a lot of pounds. This mat, my first job out of college, I worked for a plastics fiberglass manufacturer. So I designed this mat to be 47 pounds. So it's like a one-man deal.
Yeah.
Load them up, we load them in the truck like this. Well, the corner doesn't catch, so you don't rip your shoulder out. So I wouldn't dye one this color. This is just the extra dye we had. This is a little too dark. Probably absorbed too much heat.
It's on brand.
Yeah. You clean up your whole job. The last thing you leave down are your mats. You let the sun kind of bake those pancakes mud on, then you just crack it. So you crack it and then reflow it. So this is 1/4 or 1 inch thick.
I think it'd be dope for sure. If we were doing tree work all day, every day, we would want to keep them on the front of our trailer. We did before we had plywood. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What thickness?
1/2 inch. Which
Okay.
broke
Probably
right
60 pounds. Maybe.
Yeah.
We just got to talk to you today. So thank you very much.
Good luck, man. Thank you. Monster fucking chipper in. These are sick. That thing loads itself. It's a chipper and a loader. If this is like the real kind of shirt that baseball players wear, I don't know how the fuck they do it, because this is the hottest damn shirt I have.
I still have a family tree service, but like back in 2017, I got recruited to come on as a trainer for a construction company that wanted to get into tree care. So I would come in and teach people how to cut down trees with cranes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, and I've been doing that ever since.
Yeah.
And then like that spread out into other things. Oh, do you do bucket truck training? Sure. Do you do chipper training? Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and then we developed curriculums and
That's
like
fun. So you
the
put
tests.
something
We'll give them
together, yeah.
certificates says that they participated in the training. Here's everything you need for you as the employer to like keep on record for all your guys, make sure that they're capable of running machines the right way. And then based on demand, we'll travel anywhere.
Yeah. So throughout the year at your home base, you'll do a couple trainings there. So
We do a crane certification class every month, no matter what. That's our thing. And then depending on like the time of the year, we'll do tree climbing class. We'll do rescue classes, like to get the guys out of the tree if they get hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been doing a lot of aerial lift, like the spider lift classes. Even like skid steers. People buy a skid steer and they're like, all right, figure it out. Like if you really like know what you're doing, you know the difference between a guy that knows and doesn't know. But like the guy that doesn't, like, well, the machine's gonna do the work anyway. But they were really good.
Yeah.
You know the difference.
Oh yeah.
And there's not much room for error when you're on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So
That's the huge challenge for us. Is like, it's really hard to train new guys because everywhere we're working, it's like you fuck up, and this is what they fuck
it's a
up.
big problem.
We've got a stump belt, so we just try to utilize it. Let people get some seat time there.
Get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing we see. And we lose a lot in the tree industry. We lose a lot of people in the construction world. Which is okay, but we're trying to get more people into the tree world so we can go run this nice equipment and make sometimes a lot more money.
Oh yeah.
We got approached by Cheryl to take over ArborFest, so we organized this whole event.
Oh really?
We've been organizing this for the last 3 years. It's a
Wow.
good time. This is our way to give back, to celebrate the industry as a whole. Because everybody here is very proud of the work that they do, and we want them to come here and enjoy themselves and
Yeah.
celebrate the fact that they're proud of the work that they do.
Are. Yeah.
You know? Nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah. For sure.
Got 6 out there.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
giant
dope.
squad.
Yeah.
And they're all young. I'm teaching like 2 or 3 of them how to climb right now.
That's sweet.
And so bringing them here and showing them like, there's like really badass climbers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some studs here for sure.
No, yeah, it's crazy to see them too. Just climbing up the tree, and like on the microphone, not even breathing hard.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
I'm up in a fucking 40 feet up.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm up in the bucket putting my gear on, you know? But, yeah, you can say too.
A lot of times people mistake us for a realtor or a property management company. So whatever you can do with your logo or advertisement, let it be like, hey, we don't do that shit. This is what we do. You know.
Yeah.
And even with our logo that shows an excavator and a tree, people still think we do property management. But
I just wanted to pull myself out of the strictly tree business.
Yeah,
I moved
never
dirt
know
and
what
stuff.
you're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't want everybody to be like, oh, they just cut trees. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'll dig French drains.
And that was our strategy with it too. Is we, I owned JC Construction, JC Tree Service, JC Grading, and then was like, how do we just broadcast as one enterprise? That was JC Property Professionals, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was genius. Yeah, he was like, what is your goal? Don't you want to be in Cabo, fucking in 20? I said, no, I said, I want to be fucking grinding my ass off, making more money.
Yeah.
To buy more big cool
Yeah,
shit.
for sure.
So my neighbor's like, he's got another fucking machine in his back. I live in the Yeah, my biggest flaw is not sending out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go look at it, quote it, but I don't send it.
Yeah.
So then people are like, where? And I'm like, it's just a fucking model. I gotta get better at it. So I
Yeah,
gotta make
nobody
it.
likes to sit at the fucking computer, you know.
I know there was a learning curve. That's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Job was great. It was just me.
going through it.
Yeah.
The cool thing is it's got those pre-built line items in there. So like mobilization or your machine time, or like I've even got like trim Bradford pair, remove Bradford pair, where you just go in and you just type BP and it comes up, and it takes you 5 minutes. So you don't have to go in there and build the entire thing. You don't have to put the line out on the description, the price.
See, I guess that's what was slowing me up, is that I was not wanting to do that.
Every tree is different, like if we're going to do a trim, or one oak tree removal is going to be completely different price than the other. But there are a lot of line items that you can put in there, like for a Bradford pair or a Leland, it's pretty much going to be the same price. Shit like that you can.
You can't kill them, cut them.
So you're gonna save some time on some of that, and then like if you're gonna do some dirt stuff, you can have pre-built shit like your mobilization or your mini hoe price or
ground coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what when we were looking at mat options, they were talking about.
Yeah.
You can bill out for laying out mats, 200,
exactly.
300,
Yeah. charge you time for it. We do the same thing on like seed and straw. We have a certain number, you know, and then if it's a shitload, we'll add to that. You know, we are paid to push it, but I'm not gonna push on something that it's not useful for. You know, so a buddy of mine called me the other day. It's literally him and 2 guys. He was like, "What's? I keep seeing this thing you're pushing, you know." And I'm like, it'll clean your shit up. It'll clean up your quotes. It makes invoicing a little bit easier for you because you can. One thing that I love about it is you can send the invoice and kind of forget it because it'll follow up with them and keep hounding them to pay. But for you to pay, and it's only taking you're doing 20 jobs, 30 jobs a year. Like, don't pay for a service you don't need. You know what I mean? But when you get more shit, another cool thing about it is just like the invoices with the quotes. You send the quote out. It's gonna keep following up with them until they either say yes or no. So you can kind of set it and forget it on some of those things. So that's the benefit for a smaller guy that I would say, you know, because you can kind of forget about that and go do your thing.
Which I do need some. I know I need a lot of organization, and I also need, you know, somebody to do it for me. I'll keep up with
Yeah, for sure.
Cut farther down the hill, huh?
Just a little bit, another road. The fucking road's destroyed on the way up there. Where it does just turn and push. Probably need to send someone down with a rake.
We don't really need to go any further that way. There's some nice trees over there, but the one was a little sketchy.
Over here?
Yeah. It was leaning right at the house.
That one log right there is borderline too small.
Yeah, there's a couple that are like that, but I threw them down because probably should just go get the skid steer. You can use that. What about behind me?
Yeah, you need to go to that big popper, I'd say. That way there, like where that far track mark is, that's about as far as you want the water to negative grade, you know, and run out.
There's 3 big ones behind me, cut them all.
Yeah, you want to make sure that don't go in the house.
There's a lot of brush in here. We might have to do something.
Bottle of clothes?
Yep, I brought some.
God damn, that's gonna be like a Hollister or what?
Ready?
Perfect.
Good?
Perfect.
What do you think about this, Vince? About time for a hoe up here, huh?
You get the skid steer too.
Oh, we're getting skid steer?
All the water still runs this way. It all needs to run this way.
Alright, yeah, we'll get that skid steer. I've just been tracking like a motherfucker.
So cut this down. Start cutting this down.
Good.
Yeah. It all needs to, like, this needs to be the highest point, this thing. Alright? So you gotta cut a lot.
Thank you, amigo.
Why ought to take that down? What are you smiling about? Down fun. You think there's anything close to that pole, like underground?
Yeah, I don't think you need to dig much deeper there. I wouldn't, like those stumps up there, I just have them cut them flat. Yeah, I wouldn't dig that.
And bring the water this way?
Yeah, so on the other side of the pole, it can run.
Yeah.
And then from this side, it can run. Yeah. Like from that beech tree that has those little white leaves.
Yeah.
At an angle, right through there. Esto corta estos en los tres papelos. I just get that close and then just push that with the dozer. It'd be so much faster. I got an email from the office that says that you are needing a septic installed. I'm assuming pretty quick because it asks the time frame.
Well, the situation is I've had 2 companies that said they were doing it, and starting back in January, and they both have been late. So,
Minutes. Is it vacant land you're just starting the site prep on, or?
no, this is a house that was built in '48. It's got basically a cinder block, septic tank.
Yeah, pulling that out.
Well, the other companies were just filling it, crushing it and filling it is what they, said they were doing. So.
Okay, so pump it, crush it, fill it with 3/4, and then backfill dirt to the surface. That's an option if that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, and if you can give me the price on it, and I need to get it done ipso pronto. So
I was heading over to Asheville to meet another client. If you want, I'll stop on the way through. Just put some eyeballs on the site, and then I'll look at your permit. I'll get you a number really quick on it. And, as long as nothing's crazy, I mean, I can get some guys on it in a couple days. It sounds like a pretty easy install if it's just an R&R, so it should only take a day or two to do it.
I'm home, so you're welcome to stop by. So.
All right, I'll see you in just a few minutes then.
Came out here twice and charged me $400 to pump it, and then said, well, it's just going to have to be replaced, but he just never showed back up. And anyway, it's been quite the saga.
Yeah, man, it's difficult to get anyone to do anything nowadays, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it is, sadly.
All right, so they want to start your leach system roughly in here. Install 200 foot of 25% reduction chambers level. Yeah, so I don't know what else he would use. Infiltrators are great. That's what 98% of folks will install.
He was talking about a Norwesco. He said he was a...
it's just different products.
Yeah, he said so anyway, but yeah, one guy was 6730 and he was 7. So but.
I don't. Does the 67 have the removal of the old?
Well, he was gonna
pump. He does have a pump.
Yeah, and then he was just gonna. He told me he was just gonna collapse it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My install number would be more along this fella's price, 7.
Okay.
Because it's about $4,000 in material, and then I would need to add the pump. I don't pump in house, so I'd have to have Jay Asbury does all my pumping. I'd have him come and pump and let's see, if we just collapse that tank, you're obviously going to need to, fill that void, and typically we would do that with 3/4 gravel. Is there somewhere we could rob dirt from here maybe?
Yeah, that's the other thing, but they both were just going to take dirt from somewhere, and just fill it. So
up there where that garage cut, is that you?
Yeah.
So maybe from side there?
Anywhere.
Okay.
There's 4 acres here, so there's
plenty to steal from.
Yeah.
I'd say I wouldn't charge you nothing then on the crush and backfill if you paid for the pump, so 75. And what is today? Monday? I'd say Wednesday we could get here and by Friday evening be complete.
Okay. So your price would be what then?
$7,500.
Oh, so even more.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't pump in house. So and we can leave the old tank, but so you're saving the $500.
Yeah.
But environmental's going to want it crushed and detached. You don't got to make a decision now. You can roll it over.
Well, if you could, what I'll have to do.
And I'll send it over as a quote, just like
that's me. I'll need an official quote.
You own all that too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the equipment back there's a little bit of a challenge, huh?
The guy that came to pump it, he had a mini excavator. He just came around the corner,
Through there?
Yeah, right through there.
Well, that's a small gap for that, huh? Yeah. We can go off the bank and turn.
Okay.
And just get a backfill. We'll have to maybe use a dingo to get dirt back there.
Yeah.
Here versus the skid steer. The skid steer makes it a lot faster, but
people used to go right there, but the problem is when we had some guys come and cut after the hurricane and they left that nice big log there. So
yeah. Move that log out of the way. They might just have to come through there if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Yeah. Bring the skid steer through there.
Not a problem. Just shoot that to me. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, man. Thank you.
We looked at company cam, and what do you use?
Jobber. We've used everything, man, and Jobber is the best thing they'd be able to use because it literally, from the time a lead comes in until you invoice, it does everything all in one software. And if you like company cam, you can also use it with Jobber. You can literally do everything through Jobber. Like, it integrates with your QuickBooks. You invoice. You guys can clock in and clock out. You put all your job expenses on there. If you can train your guys well enough, they can even clock in and clock out of the job, so it's automatically expensed to the job. If there's any change orders, you guys put that in, it automatically sends it to whatever your foreman or project manager is on the job. It's all in one spot, man, versus having to have multiple softwares. I can show you on the demo exactly how it's all use and see if it's something you think you want before you spend the money on it. I've also got a free trial I can send you too.
That's what we're doing today, trying to look at some things.
This eliminates 100% of the paperwork, other than what I like the guys to do is at the end of the day write down start hours and end hours of the machine on that job and what was done on the job, which can all be done in Jobber. I just like to have it on paper. That way there we can go back to it. But that's the only thing that we're doing on paper now. You don't have to, but you can add all your expenses. So like, you know, it cost me $23 an hour for a guy. You know, if I'm billing 8 hours for that guy, you know, whatever I bill for the 8 hours, I can see what I'm billing the customer, and I can also see what it costed me to perform that job all right there in one spot. And then you just click one button and it sends it over to an invoice. Without the software, you know, you go to a job, you do a tailgate meeting, you leave, nobody remembers anything from the tailgate meeting except for what they were going to do that day, not the entire job. But with Jobber, I put a tab in there that says job details, and I put every single thing that me and the customer went over there in a description. So throughout the entire job, whoever's on that job can just go to the job details in the software and read everything that's supposed to be done. And then if you like that company cam thing, you can see where, like, you can put photos on there of, you know, what, like, you know, remove this one tree limb or cut this bank back 8 feet, or, you know, and then the guys can also update what was done. It sounds like a shitload to learn, but I promise you it's super duper simple.
Well, work me in your schedule when you aren't busy and come see me.
I don't mind to ride over there and bring my laptop with me and show you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, see us. So this is a job the guys just moved to. This is just something that we have in-house that the guys will fill out, and then we convert it over to, like, these are all change orders out here after the, so like we would just put on here, you know, how many hours the machine was used that day. Well, that's what we charge by the hour, and then that's what that line item would be.
You still got the paperwork like I do, and you still have to input it.
Well, I'm doing it that way, yes, but do you have to? No. So
that's when you get into the trust factor.
Exactly. Whoever the team's going to be, add them to the job. We clock into the job. So they get here in the morning, they clock in, they get to the job, they clock into the job. So at the end of the job, you'll see this guy was here this day, this guy was here that. Just for checks and balances, I like for them to come back, fill out the daily tracker. I'll have someone in the office update it onto here, and then before the job gets billed, I usually check it.
And even if they sit down and could just compile it like what you're.
And then staple them all together for that day or something. I guess it's easy to cross-reference that way, but I don't want to have to cross-reference like that. Like if I have to scrutinize the shit that much, then
yeah.
Which, you know, it's like, man, you can get a guy who's amazing on a piece of equipment, but can't fucking write his name on it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And what works for me may not work for you guys and those guys out there. You know
right.
what I mean? So you just have to kind of play with it. But getting the information back from them and what was done during the day is going to be the biggest deal. If you can get them to do it on here, you guys literally can sit it here and do nothing really. You know? But to get them to do that, I don't know. You know, we're happy to get them to clock in and clock out on here and do their tracker correctly.
Oh, I know. I'm with you. Yeah.
But I think it's a whole lot easier with all the shit pre-built and stuff to just be able to just take stuff right from the tracker to put it on here.
And that's what Todd was wanting to eliminate, to where they kind of did it, but I still don't. That's what I told him. I said your program is only as good as what you put in it. So
100%,
if they're not doing it right, somebody's got to double check to make sure it's
Make
right.
a good example out of somebody.
I do. Yeah, I do. And that's why, you know, sometimes it's hard to get folks to work for me because, you know, you make an example out of one person, then everybody else bitches about it. But everybody else who's working there does it right. You know what I mean? But then you get a reputation of John chewed my ass because of that, you know. But I mean, I don't know how else to get the boys to do shit other than chew their ass every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know? But the guys who are there now who know if they don't fill it out, they're gonna get their ass chewed. They do it. You know what I mean? It's the new guys you have a problem with. Yeah,
just learning something new.
Yeah.
So how do you know, like, if they clocked in or out from home versus?
But normally it'll say right under their GPS, and then you can click on the location. In Legends, probably only they can't choose to turn theirs on and off. You do it here, but
Legends is probably just set up like that because he's came and gone so many times that the last time it wasn't clicked. Like if someone just called in, so you would just go in here, these are all leads that people have called that I haven't called back yet. But you just add it in here. Like when someone calls, put all their information in, you can schedule a time to go meet them on site if you want to. You know, I talked to you guys about the consultation fee a while ago. You know, so and my voicemail is set up, our website and stuff is set up so that people know, like, I'm not just gonna run out. If you wanted a quote, send me some pictures. There was one that popped up on here the other day, and this guy was like, I've got huge holes in my driveway after the storm, I need someone to come out and fix it. And they did, because it says, click, you know, add photos on here. He added photos, and it was like, I'm not bringing a skid steer. I'm not bringing nothing. Like, the skid steer was too much. You know what I mean? So I knew instead of running out there and wasting my time, like, let's say, you know, I went out, looked at her job, and I'm ready to convert to quote. If you're done with the job, you just click convert to invoice. You can click send a text message or email, send that over, and then they can pay right through the email if they have a card or ACH, or if they call you and you want to collect a payment, you can just collect it here however you want to. And the cool thing about that is it'll go into your bank account immediately too. You can also put it all on a schedule where, you know, it makes things a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much like what we want.